This is your author, Mark. Hello, this is your author, Mark speaking. I'm coming to you again with another interesting YouTube video. Lately, I've been watching a lot of YouTube, and I try to come up with a interesting topic to talk about in my videos. But I think I just came across one that's worth mentioning. I mean, a lot of people are talking about it. It's called what, and the topic is going to be discussed. We're going to discuss today is why do people don't want to work anymore here in America? Well, yes, and I believe some of these people do make good points, and props to them, but they don't understand one thing. You have to ask yourself, why work? Because why even bother going to work because you are, to be honest with you, you are working for small change when you work for an employer. Basically, in my opinion, you're working for chump change, because in reality, and the reason I say chump change, because have any of you been lately to the food supermarket, to the grocery store? Have you looked at a price of a car? Have you ever looked at the price of clothes today, or anything else for that matter that you have to have in order to maintain some sort of living standard? Have you looked at those prices? I mean, prices for used cars have gone up in reality, and the thing is, if you don't buy a house now, you'll never will, because the pricing on housing, cars, and other necessities is basically out of control now. And to be honest with you, yes, our president Donald J. Trump says, "Oh, we're going to reduce inflation. We're going to bring prices down." Blah blah blah. Okay, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen, in my opinion. And the reason this will not happen is because, for example, if a real estate agent asks for a $300,000 price on the house, or the owner, okay, he knows that that owner and that real estate agent know that the real estate buyer is still not. I'm not going to say stupid, I'm not going to use the word stupid in this video. I'm going to say the buyer and the real estate agent may know, but the buyer of the house is so not educated, in my opinion, that he'll pay that he'll pay the asking price for a house. Let me give you another example. Say a real estate agent. I'm going to stick with real estate agent. Asks for $1 million price for a house. I mean, the owner and the real estate agent say, "Gee, we're going to ask for $1 million for a house." And guess what? The real estate agent and that person that's selling the house knows that the buyer itself, that the consumer itself, is not so much educated that he will pay the money pay that $1 million for that house. Now, the other thing that people don't want to work anymore, because, to be honest with you, today's corporations in my opinion, treat their employees basically like slaves. You're going to work 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, with overtime, mind you. You're going to go to work for some corporation, and then what? You're going to get your paycheck $300 or $800 a week, and that's not counting all the deductions that they take out of your check for Social Security and all the other things. What you're basically what you're gonna make $800, for example, and then half of that money goes towards your bills, goes towards paying your electric and all these other things. Now, what are you going to have any money for savings in order to buy a house or a car or any other thing? Now, and then what you have to also consider, ladies and gentlemen, why do people don't want to work anymore? Because due to the advances in technology such as artificial intelligence and other things, I mean, in reality, there isn't going to be that many jobs. For people to have. So we're going to have to accept universal basic income. We're going to have to accept certain things. I mean, because due to artificial intelligence and the changes in the work place itself, I mean, to be honest with you, there isn't that much for people to do because of the advance in technology. So, I mean, the whole entire of nature of work, in my opinion, is going to change. Now, the other thing that and in my opinion, the only way to actually survive in this downfall of economy and our civilization, in my opinion, is basically to actually start your own business. Now, I'm not going to tell you what business to start because I don't even know at this point. But actually, the only answer in order for you to survive, you either have to go through what we call a gig economy or just basically work for yourself. Now, the other issue is that is not being addressed. That, like I said before, yes, in my opinion, the American people have become what I call wage slaves. Now, I've wrote about the changing job market and all that stuff in my books of progressive credentialism versus ageism, the American Holocaust, and my books like that, and started becoming support. In these 3 books, I wrote about what's really happening in the job market, what's happening, and some people, and I really, in my opinion, I actually predicted what's gonna happen in our job market. Now, was I proven right? I think so. Now, the other thing is now, question, now also, me and my dad had these discussions all the time that, sometimes you're going to have to ask yourself, is it worth, basically to give up your youth when you're younger, to go through college, to put yourself through this grind, to actually get your degree, to go through all this stuff, and then what? You end up working for what? $20 an hour, mind you. You are going to end up working for $20 an hour, but remember, nowadays $20 an hour, it is a minimum wage in some states. That's a given. But some people say, "Oh, I'm going to get $20 an hour working today." And you know what I say to that? Whoopee, that you get $20 an hour, because when you count that the bills that you have to pay are still going up. You still have to pay for your fuel, your lunch, you other work, other things besides work that you have to pay for your transportation. You have to pay for your lunch and all this stuff. So I think working for a corporation right now, it's just ridiculous, and in my opinion, it's working for a corporation. In my opinion, it is obsolete. Now, there is one other thing that when you the thing is, because the energy that you could spend working for a corporation, I think it will be better spent, in my opinion, to actually work for yourself. Now what and I'm going to end it with this. Now what can we do about it? Well, what can we do this out of control pricing on cars, on common goods, on houses, and all that stuff. Now, a lot of people, there's a lot of YouTubers out there who do talk about this, and they do a better job at this than I am. But in reality, what I think, and I do agree with them, is what has to happen here in order for everything else to come back to normal, so to speak. But in reality, nothing's going to be normal anymore because of artificial intelligence and the things that I have mentioned. So what I think we need is a total and unequivocal economic collapse, or if you don't want to call it economic collapse, that's fine. In order for this to come back to normal, we do need an economic collapse. But if you don't want to call it that, that's fine. What we will have to do is, what we do need is a total and unequivocal economic reset, because the thing is, in my opinion, this economy and this economic system is far overdue for a reset. Because if we're going to keep going the way things are going, then we're just going to end up in reality, we're not going to go nowhere. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'm going to see you in my next video.